It doesn't just feel like it, but it truly has been an eternity since I last posted about the E30 Touring. It's also hard to believe that I have owned this vehicle for over 10 years at this point. So in today's video, we're gonna start disassembly of major components to make room for a bucket list of projects that I've always wanted to do, which includes rust repair, a shaved engine bay, wire tucking, amongst many other things. Let's have a quick peek at where we started and how we got to this. Welcome to Touring 2.0. Okay, we're making pretty good progress. At this point, we're gonna have to take off the front wheels in order to remove the fender liners. Two things. One, this bumper bracket is held on by two screws from the inside. You could theoretically reach up underneath the valence and undo that. However, on the back, the fender is also held onto a bracket that's attached to the body, and you can't really get to that unless you remove the fender liner. So regardless, that's gonna have to come out, and then we're gonna be able to remove the 8mm screws that are holding the top of the fender on, and we should be able to remove the fender. Don't forget about the random Torx that they put in here. Everything is 8mm screws. There's probably like 10 or so of them. And then you have a random T25 Torx right here holding the bottom of your fender on. I wanted to show you guys something strange about these fenders. By the way, that looks so goofy. Oh my gosh. These fenders are original BMW fenders, but they're not the fenders that came originally on this car. If you guys remember in like episode 2 or 3, way back in the day, the fenders were so rusted that I replaced them with some original fenders from other cars, some donor cars, and I noticed that the passenger fender is missing the second mounting hole. Now I posted about this on Instagram, this one has both, and it got quite a bit of discussion going. This car comes stock with the 2 mounting holes on the driver, 2 mounting holes on the passenger side. And I just wanted to share this with you guys because it's really strange that a original fender, this is also from a late model, I decoded the VIN, and this VIN says that this is also a 1989 car, but it's a 2-door and it's an M20. I don't know if any of that matters, but yeah, I had quite a bit of discussion. People on Instagram sent me videos and pictures and we couldn't figure it out. So I don't know if anybody here in this video knows about it, but the conclusion is I think it's just depending on who supplied the fenders at the time. You know, some cars had no 2 mounting holes, 1 mounting hole on the driver, 2 holes on the passenger. It's all over the place. The next thing I want to show you guys is how to remove E30 doors. I know there's going to be at least 1 or 2 of you that find this interesting. So let me take you inside the car and show you how to take these off. So in order to remove your door, you need a couple basic tools. We're going to start off by removing our door connector, the harness. You need a little trim removal tool or even a little pick hook. And at this point, you are going to peel back very gently the rubber dust weather cover that is on there. That will expose 2 plastic press tabs on the sides that you're going to squeeze together, and then you're going to use your pliers in the middle to pull out the plastic connector. Be careful, don't force it, because if it breaks, it sucks to replace, and obviously this stuff is not readily available everywhere, so make sure you go nice and gentle. At this point, we have 2 10mm bolts. One at the top is at the bottom, and the bottom one is at the top. There we go. You're gonna pull back this rubber boot or grommet, whatever you wanna call this. Use your pliers and remove a little clip that holds the press pin in place. We're gonna use a punch and a hammer to punch out this press pin that holds the hinge of the door in place. And now that that is out, we can lift the door out of place. Shaving engine bays is not a new topic. Many people do it and have done it. On E30s specifically, a preferred method for all the front accessory wiring is to run it through this support arm. Basically, you drill a pretty large hole, run the wiring through, and then continue wiring it through this cavity. I've done that in the past on some of my projects, and it's really good. It really cleans up the engine bay a lot. However, since I have done this before, I am wondering if we want to take this a step further and go down the treacherous path of relocating the fuse box. I've always wanted to do this, but it is a lot of work, and there really is no benefit to it. The worst part is you could actually introduce some electrical issues, but it would complete the shaved engine bay look. So whether we relocate it under the dash or even into the trunk, it is an option. Let me know your thoughts. Should we go through the side support and call it? Or do we want to go all the way and complete the shaved engine bay look and relocate the fuse box? All right, guys, so that is all for today. I think we made some pretty good progress in terms of disassembly, exposing some of the ugly truths of this car and what it needs, specifically the rust that needs to be addressed. And at this point, I would love to hear from you guys. What would you do with this 2.0 fresh start? Please try to stay a little bit realistic. Obviously, I would love to put a twin turbo V10 in the back and just go all crazy, but I am just a one-man show and I do have somewhat limited funds on what I can do. But that doesn't mean that we can't have a lot of fun and really build a car that you guys can relate to and also be excited about. That being said, I have all the socials set up again. After that whole hacking incident and all that drama on the channel, I really owe it to myself and to you guys to follow through on this fresh, clean start and really build the car that we've always wanted to build as a community for Salt City Euros or for me, Euro Nico. And I appreciate you guys sticking around and watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell icon because otherwise you're not gonna find out about new videos being posted. And that being said, guys, I will see you in the next video. Peace.